Okay, in this video we're going to look at day 4 of your AP multiple choice questions without a calculator. So in this one it says I've got a 1 liter solution of each of these salts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some sulfate to it. Now remember, this is a NAP. Nitrates are completely soluble. But when I add the sulfate, if you look up here, it looks like they are slightly insoluble when I make that salt. And there's a difference of like 10 to the third. And so the question is here, based on the information on the table above, which of the following will occur? Am I going to form a precipitate? Am I not? And will both precipitate? So I really think, remember, that when you're looking at conditions where you're given molarities, then you want to calculate Q. Okay, so let's write out the two equations. Remember, when we write out the equations for a salt, we put the salt first, and then it goes to its respective cations and anions. So 2, and here's lead, 2 plus SO4 2 minus. So what I want to do, whenever you're asked to know is something going to precipitate or not, that is a Q calculation. So I've got all my concentrations here. It tells me how much lead in molarity, lead and silver I have. It also tells me the molarity of my sulfate, because remember, this is a NAP too. So this one is just going to completely dissociate into the cation and the anion, and however much of this I have, I'm going to have the same concentrations here. So what I'm going to do, if you remember, KSP is equal to the concentration of Ag plus squared times the concentration of SO4 2 minus. So let's plug all that in. That's 0.20 squared times 0. And I've got 0.0010. And that is equal to 4 times 10 to the 7th. Now, if you look at my, minus 7, sorry. If you look at my K value, that means this is Q, is less than 1 times 10 to the minus 5, which is K. When Q is less than K, that means that I've got too many reactants, because my denominator is small. So that's going to push it in this direction. So let me get a colored pencil here. That means I'm being pushed in this direction, which means it's dissolving. Okay. Now, let's look at the other side. We'll call this 2 for the lead. Q is equal to, so in this case, it's going to be the concentration of lead 2 plus times the concentration of 2 minus. All right, that's going to be my KSP, value for Q. So I'm going to put 1 times 10 to the minus 6. Minus 3 times 1 times 10 to the minus 3. And that gives me 1 times 10 to the minus 6. Which is greater than KSP, which is 1 times 10 to the minus 8. If Q is greater than K, that means I have too many products. Means in this case, I'm going to shift in that way, right? So let's look at all of these. That means a precipitate is forming here, but it is not forming here. And so I get, that's incorrect. That is incorrect because we learned that that's dissolving. And that is incorrect because both are not precipitating. C is the correct answer to the problem.